Hello and welcome to the Toon Terraces Podcast. We are joined by a familiar-ish face in Max, who I think's probably just recovering from his trips over for the Brighton and Leicester game. And we're joined by an old/new face, if we want to put it that way, in Tom. How are both of you guys doing?
Yeah, we're good. Another season over.
I'm recovering from my Champions League flu, so that's all right.
It's your Geordie flu because you're not used to.
Yeah.
You're not used to things over here, yeah. So yeah, but we're tough enough. We've sort of like developed an immunity to that sort of thing.
Yeah, but now so have I. So that's good for next time at least.
You probably just ate too many Gregs.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that could have been the problem.
if there's a thing, I'm not sure.
It would be weird though.
It is. Well, what we're going to do is, it is the season over. What we are going to do next week, we're going to do more like the awards aspect of it, just because we want to give people a little bit more time to just have a think themselves of things like player of the season, most improved, those sort of things. Because I certainly haven't made my mind up. If someone said, "What's your game of the season?" I'd be like, "Oh, this one." Actually, no, this one. Oh, no, actually, this one. So we're going to give people the time to think that. So what this is, it's going to be a little bit of a season review. As you can see, it has finished with Newcastle being in the Champions League. We couldn't get the win that we needed, and we couldn't get Fulham doing us a favour that we needed. So it is that we are finishing fourth, which I don't think. Yeah, is anyone really bothered the fact that we finished fourth?
No.
I know. I think this is the one game where I went in a Chelsea going where there's probably nothing on it. I think every other game this season, practically, there's been something on it, and something that we've needed to get. This game, I'm just like
nothing.
Yeah, play who you want. Yeah, play the reserves. I was like that. I was like, look, even if we lose, yeah, we're going to be still fourth. Yeah, so that was the one. The one good thing that did come out of it, because we did get the draw, thank you to Brentford, because Brentford's allowed it so that we've now equalled up, and we've now equalled with Man City in having the joint least defeats in the Premier League this season. And as you can see, Alexander Isak is loving it. But not only that, we are also tied with Man City as well for having the joint least goals conceded in the Premier League. And you look at that and just think, even a year back, last season, would you have thought a Newcastle United side would finish the season having jointly conceded the least number of goals and lost the joint least number of games?
I mean, I knew we were capable of maybe something along those lines, because we did. Pretty much from the second half of the season last season rather, we obviously we kind of came in and we already saw the stats where we were pretty much like top four had we have started the season in January last season. But no, in terms of that higher start, probably not.
But we have also got one more, which is Newcastle United have got a one. We're not joint with anyone. This is ours on our own. We are the only side in the Premier League to have stayed unbeaten in the capital. So we didn't lose a game in London this season. And some great games, obviously. The Fulham one stands out. The Spurs one stands out again for me again. And the West Ham one, so those good games, The Arsenal one was, I couldn't enjoy that because I think everyone was just on the edge of the seat for that one. But it is, the fact that if you look, even just a couple of years ago, we couldn't get a win and we couldn't get a draw in London. And now we're going there and we're going, no, you're not going to beat us, but this is our matter now. We're not going to do more. And we only lost five games this season. And that was, I believe, sides in the top seven. So I don't think we lost to a side outside the top seven.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think about it. All the things we have accomplished this one season. you kind of get swept along with away with it when it just happens, week after week, game after game. You kind of don't, you forget what's happened. I think the club put out the video of all the goals we scored this season, and you just look back on it and it's like, wow, it's been an amazing ride. And just for us to finish top 4 in itself, it's an achievement that we can't really describe with words.
Well, that is the thing, because you mentioned the video, I watched it, and then you're looking back in that and you're going, oh, actually, that's a good contender for goals. Yeah, we probably could have had our goal.
You forgot about as well, or ones that you sort of looked at and you thought,
exactly, like Fabian Schär's at the very beginning of the season against Nottingham Forest. I looked at that and I was like, oh, I forgot about that one. That one was good. Yeah, you do look at them and you're going, oh, actually, I forgot about that one. That one was good. Obviously, I didn't forget the Villa one, which at home when Mickey scored that one, because that one was just beaut. And obviously, with being in the Gallagher, I was quite close to seeing that, and it was just unbelievable. But we're also forgetting, and this is something that we're forgetting when we're looking at all this and we're looking at what we've done this season, is we also had a trip to Wembley. Yeah, Blackman says a massive season overall we got in the Champions League, shows how far we've come in 18 months. That's exactly so. In 18 months, we went from a relegation fight to finishing in the top 4 of the Premier League and being at a cup final. I know the result didn't go our way, but I know everyone that I spoke to, is a Newcastle fan, who, especially those that were down there. Even Maxie flew over from Sweden just to watch it in a pub in London. Yeah, I would do, and this is me, I would do that again, even if it ended up being the same result that we lost. Yeah, I want to win at Wembley, but just being able to do that, going to Trafalgar Square and everything like that, it's just unreal. And we are united as a fan base now, and it was so lush to, it's lush to be a part of. And like I said, I'm gutted the season's come to an end, because you used to look forward to it because you're going, thank Christ the football's over, I don't need to endure that. Now you're going, oh no, the football's ending, what am I going to do until August, September? Because the football's becoming entertaining again, and we've got some fantastic players. I am going to ask this question now, because it shouldn't be that, but it should. And this is another stat which we're going to come with, which I don't think gets missed. If you look at the turnaround in points difference between last season and this season, Newcastle United are top of that. So of all the sides in the league, we've done the biggest turnaround in the points that we've got this season to the points we had last season. So for me, that stat alone would tell me that Eddie Howe should be manager of the season. But the question for you two is, do you think he's going to get it? And if not, who do you think is going to get it?
I'll be honest, I think a few months ago, I kind of thought probably not. It'd be Arsenal or City, because Pep Guardiola has won the title for the 10 millionth time. But I think when we've actually got to the stage we are now, where we have actually qualified for Champions League and got a top 4 finish, I can't really see. I just find it hard to see anyone else getting it.
To be honest, there are contenders. See, for me, Pep, I'm like, well, what Pep's doing is what you expected Pep to do. You expect Man City to win the league. You expect them to be challenging for the Champions League. So you look at that. Yeah, it's a comment that I'm saying he thinks Pep will get it overall. But for me, the manager of the season shouldn't. Yeah, what Pep's doing is he's basically done it because he's went out and spent a shit ton of money on getting Erling Haaland. That's what's got him where he was. Because I'm going to say, I think if they didn't have Erling Haaland, they wouldn't have been in the Champions League final. They wouldn't have won the league. So they're doing it because they've used the financial muscle again. There are other people who I think are probably more deserving. Yeah, De Zerbi at Brighton, I think, is a fantastic shout for that, because what he's done at Brighton is just phenomenal. Yeah, Thomas Frank again. You look at those ones. There's some really good. Yeah, Gary O'Neill for the turnaround that he's done at Bournemouth. But I just think when you're looking at the stats, the fact that we were fighting off relegation last season, we haven't spent a massive amount of money. Yeah, which Eric Ten Hag seems to want to point out that he doesn't think Man U have spent a lot of money, but they've spent probably a lot more than we have. yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, I would fight and argue with anyone to why Eddie Howe should be. Yeah, if they don't agree. I just think if you look at all the stats and all the metrics, yeah, he's got to. But yeah, I'm probably biased.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy for us. We've seen him all season, and we know where the team was at before he arrived. So, I mean, a lot of people says Pep Guardiola, of course, and De Zerbi. So I think for me, it's between Eddie Howe and De Zerbi, and that's just looking at where we were last season. I mean, 18 months from relegation, bottom of the league, to fourth place Champions League, and getting it quite comfortably in the end, with practically the same players. I mean, we've added. Don't get me wrong, we added good quality players, but in the end, it's the players who were there before almost that got us in this place. And for me, that's just an incredible achievement. I mean, I don't know how you could say anyone else.
Exactly.
It's only because of the titles. Maybe if we won the cup, they would have been a bit clearer. But for me, there's no one. For me, it's only De Zerbi because he has a similar kind of squad where it's not. You look at it and you're like, these players, some of them are good, but those not so good. But he has also improved them and made them play really good football, and got Europe for the first time for Brighton. So that's the only one, like for a managerial achievement for me. That's the only two candidate.
But has De Zerbi had to turn around a player like Joe Linton from being a sack of shit to being one of the best midfielders in the league?
No, that's true.
No. Has he turned Jacob Murphy from being a shit player to a very decent and a good winger who, at times you look at and you go, come and get Jacob Murphy on? And this is the thing, I didn't think I'd be seeing this. Yeah, if you told me 18 months ago I'd be asking for Jacob Murphy to come on the pitch, I'd have thought you were stupid or drunk or mad or whatever. But he's done that. He's turned Almiron around, from being someone with no end product to a player who's second top in our goal scoring charts. Yeah, he's turned Callum Wilson around. Yeah, because I thought he was he's just changed everything. Sean Longstaff, and that's a massive one. 18 months ago, I wouldn't have said that we're missing Sean Longstaff in the midfield. Now we are. He's pivotal to what we do. Joe Willock, I think he's improved every single one of those players, and I just think it's deserved from him. The work that he's done is phenomenal, and that's for over the 18 months. If you think from the January up to now, we've probably kept up consistent form. We haven't really dipped. And if we did lose a game, we didn't really go on a bad run. Yeah, we drew games, but that's fine. I'm happy drawing games as long as we're not losing them. But it is just that. And this is a squad that he also had Matt Ritchie in, that he had Jamal Lewis in. Yeah, he's had players in that squad that really shouldn't have been in the squad, but he's still dealt with that.
Yeah,
and he even used the club captain. When he wasn't on the pitch. You're not telling me that he wasn't the one sending Jamal Lascelles out going, wind up the opposition, get yourself booked, by keeping the ball, and for throw-ins. And I think at the Chelsea game, or telling Jason Tyndall to go to the fourth official in the Fulham game and tell him that they've got 12 men on the pitch, so it delays the game. So all these mind games, it's all these tactics. Was it game management or the dark arts? This is what Eddie Howe's done, and for me as a coach, he's up there. I'd put him on the pedestal with the likes of Keegan and some of Robson in terms of managers at the minute.
Yeah, I wasn't around for those two guys, but from what I've heard,
I'm old.
No, I'm just saying it's the comparisons are there, and for what it's done for us from taking us relegation to Champions League. Just that he deserves a medal for. So it's a brilliant season from him and the team.
What we'll do now is we'll look at it, because it is going to be, I would say, a transitional summer, because there are players that we are going to have to get rid of to open up space in the squad to allow us to strengthen, because we are going to need it. We're going to be we're fighting on 4 competitions next season: the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, the Premier League, and the Champions League. I know we shouldn't be whinging about that, but it is a squad. It's a given that Ryan Fraser's on his way out. I forgot
he existed.
Man, no, we've sort of like cropped him out of everything. Yeah. I'll go with you, Max. Who's the first person that you think is going to be out the door?
Well, except for Ryan Fraser, it would be, probably the guys who are out on loan. But if you're going to go from the 25-man squad as of now, I guess on Javier Manquillo and Jamal Lewis, I won't see them getting an opportunity because I think he rates Emil Kraft more than Manquillo. So I'd say he's out, and Lewis. I don't know what happened to Lewis. It was so promising when we signed him, and it's just been a downhill struggle for him ever since. So I'm guessing him also he's gone.
Do you think? And this is in. Do you think Lascelles will be kept? Because it might be a want of Eddie Howe, and this is the thing that we need to.
I think he'll be kept for now. I think possibly in the
would you want
winter
to go,
transfer?
That's the question.
Possibly, if he's going to get more game time.
Because this is the question which I actually look at, and I'm thinking Dubravka will probably, when it comes to the push, will probably want to be sold this summer. Because he's done a good job, but I'd rather try and persuade Karius to sign. He's a free agent. Try and get him to sign. Yeah, he's a good keeper. He's played in the Champions League final for Christ's sake. So he's got quality. Yeah, we do that. Or get rid of Dubravka, get rid of Karius, and bring in Geordie lad, Fraser Forster.
Yeah,
and there's two reasons beyond that. One, he's a decent enough keeper, but two, he would go towards the quota which you have, where you've got to have 4 players who have been trained in the academy for at least 3 years, which Fraser Forster was. So you've got that. You've then got Elliot Anderson, you've got Joe Longstaff, and then you've got Paul Dummett. So that's your 4 straight off on that one. You're looking at that, and Black Mamba has said Fraser, Hayden, Clark, Hendrick, Darlow. But that's fine. Darlow, I think Hull want to actually make it a permanent deal, which could be a good move for him. Isaac Hayden and Jeff Hendrick have already been told that they're not going to be in the first team, pre-season squad. So that tells you that they're out and they're on the way. Bit of a shit. There's still a part where I've still got that a little bit of sort of fondness for Isaac Hayden, because I just think the way that he turned his career around at Newcastle and did that. I just hope he gets a good club. But yeah, Kieran Clark. Yeah,
I forgot I didn't know he still belonged to us. I thought we sold him.
Well, to be fair, we've got to thank Kieran Clark, because if it wasn't for Kieran Clark, we wouldn't have the
Joe Linton midfielder,
the Brazilian national. Yeah, because and that's another thing which we do need to have a quick mention of, and just admit it. But it is so well deserved that Joe Linton has finally got his call up to the Brazilian national team.
Yeah, that was really nice. When I saw the news, I actually got a bit emotional. I was like, oh wow, finally, because we've been waiting for this now from when he started his Phoenix rise, and to see him actually get it, I felt like a proud father or something. There you go, Joe. Well done.
You look at Joe Linton, you look at Fred, and I'm going, well, Joe Linton is a much better player than that. He so deserves it. But I'm sure Bruno was happy as well. He's like, yeah, I've got me little Toon mate with it.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Castle Roomies and that. Yeah, both in the same sort of room. Go, yeah, come on.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to see him in the Brazilian national team, along with more very good players also for him to be around. So,
but it is, when you look at that, you've then got Sven Botman, who's been called up to the Dutch national side, which again is thoroughly deserved, because he has been a man mountain this season.
Yeah, see, I saw a stat about him recently, and he only picked up 2 yellow cards during the whole season for a centre half. 2 yellow cards.
I know it's. Jamal Lascelles picked up 2 in that. He wasn't even on the pitch for them.
Exactly. So, for him to just pick up 2, and he played pretty much every game since the Man City game, if I remember correctly.
He did start slow, but he started coming in. And he'd made that spot his own. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
he's not budging. And Fabian Shaw, you've got to say well done. Batman Bruce saying something, and I actually probably agree. Maxi, I think Eddie will try to keep him if he thinks he can still be part of the team. But if Maxi wants to go on the right offer comes in, then I think we would cash in on him. I actually agree with that one because I just think Maxi, whilst he's a good player, his injuries, how many injuries he had this season, how many games has he missed this season? Too many for me. And it's just a part where you look at it and you go, is it maybe time to cash in? And this is the other thing that we need to look at in terms of the FFP. He's probably one of the only players that can get a decent amount of money, and that realistically, wouldn't be a massive thing if he left.
Yeah, no, we saw against Chelsea. I think you can see he still has the qualities and the capabilities to do a lot of good things for us. But yeah, I mean, if it's down to the financial part of it, then I can see the positive side of maybe letting him go. But I'm still reluctant to see him go. I'd like to see him stay, but I'm too emotionally involved in it, so I can't really say anything about it.
Would you say that you're happy for Maxi to go if it meant Isak permanently started on the left?
No, because Isak should start in the middle.
Fairs. Tom, what do you think? Do you think Maxi will go this summer?
I don't think he will. I actually don't. I think I feel like Eddie will probably have a chat with him and persuade him to stay, convince him that he is still integral to us going forward. And the thing is, I mean, I know they're saying we're not going to have a massive transfer budget, but whoever we bring in, obviously he says a lot's not going to change, but we are probably going to end up in a position where formation and stuff does have to change a little bit if we're going to bring in new players and sort of work it around that. So the question is,
didn't we say we didn't have a transfer budget last summer, and then all
exactly
60 odd million splashed down on Isak?
Yeah, we don't have a transfer budget. Yeah, I know we spent 200 million on so yeah, but I think if we end up in a position where, depending on how the squad changes over the summer, then ASM may be more integral to it.
Well, I suppose it depends on how Eddie Howe wants to play, because he might want to change things up, and it might be that. Yeah. You also look at that and you think, and if he decides that he wants to move Joe Linton in there and make him more of a left winner rather than using the midfield, that's something that we need to look at. Question for you is in terms of who's coming in. Do you think Newcastle United will have James Maddison in their squad next season?
I mean, I kind of would lean towards yes. I mean, let's face it, he's gonna be transferred. Like there's pretty much no doubt about it. He's not gonna want to stay at Leicester. So,
well, would you be happy if he came?
Yeah, I would, but I'll be honest, at the minute I can't really see where he would really go in the squad as sort of I couldn't really see him starting.
Well, here's a question: out of the two, Maddison or Harvey Barnes, who would you prefer?
Oh, Maddison, I'd say.
Yeah, Maddison. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
see, I was looking at Harvey Barnes one because I think he's younger, and the play that he did when he scored the goal for Leicester, that just shows that he's got that, and so that's probably someone that you need on the left. I'd take either of them. Yeah, when you're going on there. The other one that would be linked with, and I'm not even going to pronounce the name, but he's Hungarian. He's a midfielder.
Yeah, Dominic.
We'll just go with that. Do you think it's a straight out battle between him and Maddison to who we bring in, because they probably play quite similar positions?
Yeah, I think Dominic Szoboszlai is the first target, and then Maddison is the backup, because I think in terms of the age difference, I mean, I think he's like 2-3 years younger than Maddison, and I think his ceiling is a bit higher. So I think he's the primary target, but I mean, if you don't get him, Maddison is a great backup option, and They just need to act quickly because I think there's a lot of clubs who would want Madison. So
Well, there was talk, especially, and this was coming from Sky Germany yesterday, that conversations have taken place between his representatives. Yeah, there'll be things going on behind the scenes. There always is.
Yeah.
But I believe, and I do think it's probably right that Newcastle United will only go for James Maddison if James Maddison says that Newcastle United is the place that he wants to go to. If we're like a backup for him, if the Spurs one doesn't work out, then I don't think we're going to go in for him, because I think it's more of an Eddie Howe thing. You want players who want to play for Newcastle United rather than I'll just go to Newcastle United because they've got new wealthy owners, and that's which I think's worked out so well so far. In terms, obviously, the one there where we've got, we do need to replace John Joe. That's the one thing. Left back, I do think is somewhere that we need to recruit. Do you think Kieran Tierney is nailed on to happen?
No, I'd say so. I think it's a lot of it makes sense. I mean, the only thing that doesn't make sense is that Arsenal really kind of needs it left back. So for them to let him go would be quite strange. But they may have someone as backup that suits their system better. But for us, I think it just makes sense. I mean, it's the perfect kind of player for our system. And the only worry that always is with him is the injuries. Everyone keeps talking about, but looking at our training ground video today, I think we have the right equipment to maybe help him out with that.
Yeah, well, you mentioned that, but we'll just have a look at it. Yeah,
See,
gone are the days. Yeah, it actually looks like a Premier League training facility at the minute. You've even got nice seats outside. You've got the badminton coach. Obviously, you've got the ball tables that Bruno and Joe Linton so love and are very competitive on. But they've also got the hydrotherapy pool and that, which gone are the paddling pools and the wheelie bins. We've now got proper ice baths and hydrotherapy pools. It is going to help in attracting players. That's the one thing.
And Champions League football is I think that's our biggest selling point right now.
Oh, that's just a little something, but
I think that's for players like Szoboszlai and Kieran Tierney and other especially European top talents in the top
the other thing
that's the biggest point.
Let's say if we're going to go for someone who's like let's say a Brazilian player, do you not think Joe Linton and Bruno are going to be going no, you need to come here?
No, definitely.
Like if a Swedish player comes, do you not think he's going to go you need to come here? Look, right, Anthony Gordon's got probably one of the catchiest songs going at the minute, which is really infuriating me because I can never get it out of my head. And he's tried his best, and the one thing I'm going to say, I actually loved Anthony Gordon being so honest and open when he was getting interviewed and saying, "Look, this has been a struggle," and he even says, "Look, this is why it's been a struggle, but I've got a good summer ahead." I love that. Amiobi was certainly hyped presenting the new pool with Matty Longstaff during the training.
That's a weird segment.
But I can tell you this: show that Amiobi is no Dion Dublin, and it wasn't any homes under the hammer. But no, we know why Shola did it, because it was Shola did the MTV Cribs, which I still love, and if you can find it on YouTube, you need to go and watch it because it's hilarious.
I've never seen it, I'll be honest.
Oh no, it's cracking. This is my kid welcoming. I love hearts. But no, it's amazing. So much the training facility look stunning. The fact that we actually got like an auditorium where anyhow can do like the team talks and go through videos and stuff like that. It's basic, but it's a lovely little touch, and it's just people coming in now will be looking and going, this is it. This is the place, and this is just a stopgap. This isn't going to be our training facility in the long term. We're going to have that. But I also think if you've got a player, and I'm going to say this, if you're James Maddison, you're going to look at the atmosphere on Monday night when he came to St. James's. It's hard to turn down.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to come, he knows exactly what he's getting. So if he wants to look elsewhere, then as you said, I think it's good for us also to look elsewhere, because if he doesn't want
That's
to come
the
here as
thing.
his first choice, then we don't need him.
If you look at, we've got, I think you heard songs for Nick Pope, Dan Burn, Sven Botman, Kieran Trippier, Bruno, Joe Linton, Isak, and Miggy. And those were the songs that we just heard. I think we also heard Anthony Gordon one as well. But yeah, it's going to be tough. And this is it's going to be tough to bring players in, because rather than we're fighting just to get the money together for a loan fee to get in Chowdhury, we are going to be battling some big sides for players. There was even talk of getting Ferran Torres in, which is something that's come out of there. Is that someone that you think you'd enjoy seeing?
I mean, he scored 3 really good goals against us during the COVID game, where it was 4-4, I think. I remember. I mean, Emil Kraft scored his first goal in the
4-3. No, we lost.
Oh yeah, we lost. Yeah, that was the Bruce days. We lost during that time. Yeah, right.
Come on, but we don't get those results against the big sides with Steve in charge.
No. He scored a really good backheel goal. I remember. He's a good player, but. Yeah, sure. I mean, there's going to be so many links to players this summer. It's going to be like last summer probably, and you're just going to have to be like, oh, okay, this guy, okay, we write him up on the list, and then next one, and keep on going, and then you see what you have in the end of the summer.
Yeah, but obviously this summer we already know that we've got some of the warm-up games, because obviously we start with Rangers. We are then away in America. And I'm trying to think, is it Brighton, Aston Villa, and Chelsea we face?
Something like that, I think.
In my memory serves me correct on those. And then, here's a question. We'll just do a quick one. Who would you rather, would you rather be home or away first game of the season?
Home. Yeah, because I feel like the past few seasons, we always seem to always have a slightly rocky start before we get into it. I just think starting with a home game would be sort of a good way of starting on a high. And then if we win the first game, hopefully we can go on a run.
Yeah, I think starting with a home game is always nice. You sets the mood already from the get go, and I think that's the best.
Who would you want to be your first game at home then?
Definitely not on one of the promoted teams. They always seems to do very good at the first 2-3 weeks of the season.
Well, that happened to us this season because we got Nottingham Forest at home.
Yeah, that's true. We did beat them, but that was a weird game. So yeah.
Which I have to say, because when that game was on there, I had them nailed on for relegation because they just looked so poor. And 2-0 flattered them.
I'd probably say I mean, that depends if you want an easy win or I shouldn't say easy win. That's gonna come back and bite me. But if you want to beat maybe like a Tottenham in the start of the season.
Yeah. Well, when they've still got Ryan Mason because they still can't find a manager to take over.
Beat them 7-0 this time.
Yeah, we're not going to see it this time. Harry Kane will be gone.
No, I think it doesn't really matter. It's gonna be a class atmosphere anyway.
Do you know what? I think I prefer. I'd love to maybe get like a Man City who may not have started to.
Yeah, you want them early of the season because then that's when they're at their lowest kind of level.
Yeah, exactly. So someone like Everton or Wolves.
Yeah, I thought Wolves. That was my easy to beat probably.
Yeah, go on, but we'll have Everton first game of the season.
Yeah, I mean, Everton have once again somehow managed to survive relegation against all odds.
Getting boring now. Seeing them run onto the pitch and look like they're
so far you never know. The Premier League might come back and say, well, actually, we're going to deduct your points because of your financial irregularities, and then
I don't think so.
Imagine.
The only good thing out of this is that Big Sam's reputation of being a relegation firefighter is up in smoke because his last 2 jobs, West Brom and Leeds, he's both took them down.
Yeah. I mean, that was bound to happen. So yeah.
We're just going to, and this is just a quick one. And I'm just going to ask you, as a warm up to next week. your moment of the season.
Moment.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh, there's so many.
I'm not sure. I might change my mind on this, but just thinking of things recent, I would say the Tottenham game, first half of the Tottenham game, is potentially a memorable
Well, the
one.
21
I think,
minutes.
yeah, it was great. So obviously we were in the pub. Obviously it was the day that those. I remember it was the day of the emergency alerts that didn't go off. But I just remember after the first 2 goals, I think it was, the atmosphere just got quieter and quieter every time a goal go in, until I think by like the 5th goal, nobody was cheering. Everybody was just sort of looking around with wide open mouths, just completely speechless.
It's the same for me. The first thing that sprang to my mind was when Jacob Murphy scored his long range strike and we put his face on the GIF that goes around so much, and that just that face of like what is going on, and it's either that or that one. Exactly, that's the one.
How do you get that
that's
so quick?
Yeah.
This is planned. This man, I have it ready.
Yeah, it's either that one or Trafalgar Square in London. But the first thing that came to my mind was that Tottenham, that face he pulled. I was like, that's just summed up. That's pretty summed up our season very well. It's just a total shock.
Black Mamba says the Brighton game over, confirming we were getting the
champion.
Yeah, that was probably, but to be fair, I nearly strangled you, Max. Yeah, when Callum Wilson scored that 3rd goal.
Yeah.
Because I think that was the one where I was like, yeah, okay, we're doing it. We're going to get the Champions League. Because I think I was just that confident against Leicester.
That's a good shout. Just that Bruno goal in particular. There he is.
Do you know what? I'm actually going to go away from that. My moment of the season for me, it's a strange one, but it was around about the 89th minute at Wembley when we were 2-0 down.
Oh, yeah.
And the flags and the Newcastle fans just chanting that, and it was just...
I remember that.
It was emotional. It was like, it was like we're saying we don't care. Yeah, we're 2-0 down, but we're so proud of the team, and this is us. Yeah, this is what we're all about. We had support, and it was just amazing to see, like the whole section, yeah, with the black and white flags and everything like that. Yeah, you can shove your club paid scarves from Man U, yeah, where they didn't really get going or make any noise. But that for me, it was just like amazing. Like the end of the game, we're 2-0 down, not really the best performance from the team and that, but just that, and it sort of capped off like an amazing weekend, like you said. Yeah, Trafalgar Square, yeah, the build up to it, yeah, it was just phenomenal. And like I said, if someone gave me a choice of doing that again, 100%.
Yeah, 100% every time. Yeah, no, I remember that. I remember we sat in the pub and we were all kind of deflated, and they panned the camera up because we couldn't hear anything from the stadium, but you saw all the flags going in, and that I remember us standing up and just clapping and be like, well done. And it was a nice moment. So yeah, that's a good one.
It was just amazing. To be honest, the second one for you moment of the season was getting 15 million for Chris Wood.
So a lot of moments this season, a lot of moments.
It is, yeah. There's so many moments that you can think of, yeah. But for me, like I said, it was just that Wembley one that was just special for that, and yeah, you can still look back at it and just go, yeah, so proud. To be honest, a more flag smashing it. They've smashed it all season with their displays, and yeah, it's one of those ones where like I can't wait to see what they've got planned for Champions League later at St James's Park.
Yeah, just to hear the music and combined with their displays, it's gonna be emotional. It's gonna be emotional.
It is. Well, what we'll do is we'll go out with what we're going to be looking forward to next season. So we'll say good night, we'll say thank you, and we'll leave you with this.